Okay, we're going to do a quick review of precious metals today, March 14th, Pi Day 2022. So we'll start with gold here. We'll start on the daily chart. So, as I called out on Twitter, we do have a daily swing high. So, this day 27, so that was March 8th, we made that we made a new high for this daily cycle. Not quite not quite getting to this all-time high back in August 2020. Um, But we since have printed a swing high, right? And so once we came below the low of this bar, which is this line here in 1981, we now officially have a swing high. We're going to close below that level. That'll be our first. This will be our first day closing below that level. And so we are 4 days into the daily cycle decline. Today would be closing below the 10-day moving average, which is one of your signs that the daily cycle decline is underway. And so this would be day 28, 29, 30, 31. So you can imagine, we should be pretty close to a DCL, all right? The usual gold daily cycle is around 30 to 35 days. So we'll see. Could set up a really good buying opportunity. I want to see it bottom like around this level here. So that would be, basically staying above 1900. You'd want to kind of stay above this level here. That would give you your nice little higher low. And looking at the weekly chart, it's a little bit concerning. We do have a weekly swing high in place now. So once we went below this candle here, the low of last week, we do have a weekly swing high, excuse me. We have a weekly swing high in place, which is pretty bearish, below 1958. Will be interesting to see if we can recover that level soon as this daily cycle decline kind of plays out. So watching this closely for a potential buying opportunity, but we also want to be vigilant that this is not the beginning of the weekly cycle decline. So the same way day 27 was a daily cycle high, we just want to make sure that this wasn't the weekly cycle high and that we're beginning to descend into a weekly cycle low. So that's our big watch out. For silver, it's a very similar situation. For silver, that high was day 23. So we're now day 24, 5, 26, 20, we're on day 27. So similar to gold, we should be expecting a low pretty soon. Also similar to gold, we have a weekly swing high in place now. So that is a little bit concerning, below 25.36. So we will want to make sure that we recapture that pretty soon. Otherwise, this would be a top on week 6, which would be a very early weekly cycle. We'll pop over to GDX. Again, you'll notice a similar pattern here. Swing high on the same day that gold had its swing high, right? This will be our first day closing below it. So you see these 3 days. So we had a swing high on this. I'll zoom in even further. We had a swing high on this day. Next day, we had a gap down, but then we almost came back, had follow through the next day, and then we're starting to roll over again. So should expect a daily cycle low pretty soon, similar to silver and gold. And then I'll also look at platinum really quickly because, or I should say platinum and palladium. These two are pretty interesting. They're down pretty big, especially platinum, especially palladium, I should say. And it's a good sort of reminder not to chase. So similar situation. Most metals have a swing high on that same day. In the case of platinum, it made a high that next day. That was day 60. So we're now moving into a daily cycle low. And you'll see the weekly cycle does not look good. This looks really likely that this is a weekly cycle high. And so we're possibly now in a descending phase of the weekly cycle. Um, Palladium, same deal, just much more dramatic. Look at this. This is a weekly chart, right? Look at this weekly swing high below this low here. And then look, we've already taken out the low of the week before last, and now we're looking to take out all this stuff. And you look on the daily chart, I mean, just ugly. Again, that's your swing high, and now we're just getting bearish follow through. And so you look at something like PLG having a really terrible day. Still, you had that swing high on that same day, and today we have the big downside follow through. This is again, you'll notice there's a similar theme here. This is going to be our first day closing below the 10-day moving average, which is this line here. And so you would hope that we are, closer to closer to the end of this decline than we are at the beginning. We're now about 4 days in, but we'll have to watch this closely. And you can see what this did to the monthly chart. I mean, look at this huge decline in the monthly. Then we're trying to pop up, and then what do we get? A huge bearish upper wick. So think about this. What does this mean for April, right? Best case scenario, it'll be an inside month inside this ginormous range. Worst case scenario, we're probably going to make a new low below this month's low, which is, $2.13. We're not that far from that right now, actually. So we'll have to see. We have pretty clear levels, though. So a lot to watch here.